So what are we watching here? You're watching an AI tool go into a folder on my computer, complete control of my machine, and it's going to open up each one of these images and it's going to identify what that item is. Doesn't matter if it's clothing, as it is in this instance, or whether it's a console, or whether it's footwear, or whether it's some piece of IT equipment or a camera. Whatever you sell on eBay, it's going to look through those images, identify everything from the clothing, the size, the fabric, the material, anything that you can capture in an image. It's then going to head over to eBay. It's going to search for that item. It's smart enough to know should be looking at sold items. And then it's going to browse through and it's going to get a general idea of what that item sells for, or similar items sell for. Obviously in this instance it's a very specific Shanghai Tang jacket, and this item may not already be listed, but it's going to find one close. Then it's going to click the sell one like this item, and it's going to upload the images. Now, it's not the perfect tool, it's going to sit there and it makes a lot of mistakes along its way, but what it does is it takes anything you can take pictures of. So let's say you've got a death pile with 50 things in it. Spend an hour, take some photos of them all, drop them all into separate folders, upload them to your computer, then just set this running. It'll work through them one at a time, image by image. It will go through, it will create your listings. You can see here it's setting the colour of the coat, it's setting the condition, it's setting it'll fill in the description there in a minute, and it just does it. It makes a few mistakes. I've got mine set when it finishes this, it's going to save it as a draft. It is not going to list the item because I want to go back and check and see how well it's done. But the fact is, it does it, and it does it slowly, and it does it methodically. You can see it still thinks it's a sport coat, it still thinks it's tweed and polyester, but it's correcting that now, it's getting rid of the polyester thing. Once again, I'm not touching the computer when you're watching this. This is just the tool doing its job, working its way through, and it's going to set a price and it's going to save it as a draft. Now that's done, it will go back in, it will take the image out of the folder. This is what I'm talking about here, where it gets a bit confused about things, where it's some reason opened the folders in there. But it's going to create a folder in my listed instead of to be listed folder. It's going to name it the same as the eBay item, and it's going to move those images across and out of it. Now, I stopped this video in a minute because it does get confused. Now, the few caveats with this thing is it's not perfect. It gets confused. It's very slow. It takes about 20 minutes. This video is heavily sped up. It takes about 20 minutes for this thing to go through and list a single item. But the difference is you can just leave it running on your computer 24 hours a day. So there's 24 hours a day. It takes about 20 minutes. That's 3 items an hour. How many things are you listing a day? Is it more than 60 or 70? Probably not. So I'm going to show you how to set this up. I'm going to show you how I use it and tell you about it. But essentially, it can list up to, let's say, conservatively 50 things a day. You just leave it running. All you've got to do is snap pictures and let it to it. So, my name is Darren. I run a small eBay reselling part-time hobby business. I've been doing it for on and off for a year or so. I also set up the UK Resellers Discord channel, which if you're looking for some friendly advice and assistance, or just people to share war stories with, make sure you pop over. I'll leave a link in the description below. But every one of these listings you see on screen, I'll zoom in a bit, has been listed, created 100% fully with this AI tool. All I've done is taken the pictures and left this thing running. So I'm going to show you what the tool is, how it's set up. It costs absolutely zero money at the moment. Caveat, I can only imagine they're going to start charging for it eventually, but at the moment it's free. So head on over to this website, Vinted.com. Download. When you download and install, it'll ask you to register an account. But crucially, it doesn't ask you for any kind of payment details. This is a tool once you've got it installed. Now, the thing that makes this AI tool different from everything else you may have seen or used or somebody's tried to sell you up on is This one can control your computer, so it has access to everything you can do on the machine. It can do. It can control any application, go to any website, move the mouse, type keywords, use your browser. Anything you can do, it can do. So with that come a few caveats. Let's start there. You want to go into the settings. You want to go into permissions, and you want to specify the folders you're going to allow it to use on your computer. Now I have them accessing these two, which are hosted in my OneDrive. I'll come back to why later. And also I have it restricted to only use Google Chrome. I don't want it using any other application on my computer. Right, so where you're going to start then is you're going to create a workflow. Do that just by clicking up here. You can get it to record what you do, or you can just write a prompt. I prefer writing a prompt. I haven't really played with this version of it much, but you try, see what works for you. But I'll go in and edit this one, if I can remember how to do that. There we go. So give it a name. I wrote the first version of this prompt, but then I got ChatGPT to write a better, more precise prompt. But what this is just saying what it's going to do. You're operating the desktop, can control most keyboard and applications. Your goal is to create eBay draft listings from images stored in a folder on OneDrive, and then it tells it where to go to find the folder. These are variables, so you could just specify the folder name in here, but if you're going to change it, you can specify it with these curly braces around it, and then change it somewhere else, which I'll show you in a second. It's then going to open each of those images and identify them. You can use Google search and image search to make sure you match the item entirely. You're then going to go to ebay.co.uk. You're then going to add this to any of your search listings, so you're always looking at sold listings, and you'll look at the 10 most recently sold. Then the rest of it is the stuff you already do if you're a reseller. You're going to create the listing. You give it important considerations. Title that matches the most likely search terms, make it SEO friendly, include the brand, model, key specs, colour and other important attributes, condition, description, ensure the description accurately describes the item in detail, includes all relevant keywords again, mentions any defects, wear, special features, use eBay's HTML, rich text features to make it look nicer, pricing, wants to be the average price, ignore the eBay suggested price and do not use it, payment, all the rest of it. All of this, it's going to use all the images. You create the prompt. Is this prompt the absolute perfect prompt to use? No, probably not. I do keep thinking there's probably a way to make it faster. And then, as I said, these things are variables, which as soon as you type those squiggly lines in there, it will create it as a variable down here. So this is my items to be listed, and this is items that have been listed. So the last step of this, when it finished, I stopped the video or the recording of it a little bit before that because it got confused, is it takes the folders out of the images out of the to be listed folder and drops them into a folder in the listed folder, so it knows where it's at and there's nothing left behind. What I then do is, once you have this working and you test it and you've played with it, you can then create a schedule. So I have this set to run every 30 minutes. I could probably increase that a little bit, but 30 minutes is fine. I'm very rarely listing 50 items a day, so it's fine to do every 30 minutes. But the way I've made it even better for me is my to be listed and my listed folder are actually stored in OneDrive. So this means wherever I am, I can take photos on my phone, upload them to the listed folder on OneDrive, and what I do is, the to be listed, and what I do is I create a folder just called num1 and I drop all the images in there. This runs on a half-hour schedule, and every half hour it's checking is there any folders in this to be listed, and if it finds one, it just starts creating that listing, and when it's finished it will move it over to the listed folder, and then it'll go back and check again. Anything in here? Oh, another new folder's appeared, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. Is it perfect? No. Does it make mistakes? Absolutely it makes mistakes, but it's right more than it's wrong. As I said earlier in the video, I get it to always save as drafts. So it puts the things in here, it never lists them fully. I go back in, I check it hasn't done anything daft with the pricing, I check it hasn't done anything daft with the description, the condition, that it does match, but it's do you know what? It's right most of the time. That I can tell you already. I noticed in the video it didn't do it. It's not a tweed jacket at all. Quick whiz through there. Condition, it didn't fill that in for whatever reason. Again, I probably need to improve my prompt, but I'm hoping you're getting the idea. The idea is here. If you've got a death pile that you've been sat on for days, weeks, months, however long it's been there, just take the photos, upload them, let the AI do the work. It'll run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as you don't mind leaving your computer on. I hope that's useful. I see a lot of people on Reddit and the other places complaining about death piles, and everybody loves the sourcing, everybody hates the listing part of it. This can absolutely save you a ton of time. It's not a sales video, there's nothing to buy here. I'm not in any way affiliated with these, I just came across it. I'm IT as my main job, and I'm always looking at different AI tools, and this one just blew me away when I saw it, and it instantly made me think, God, that could get rid of my death pile. As I say, if you want to show your support, head on over to the UK Resellers Discord, wherever it is. It's one of them. I've lost it. There it is. UK Resellers and Flippers. I'll leave a link to that down in the description. It's a great bunch of people. I think there's about 1,500 members in there at the moment. But yeah, pop on over. Say hi. Tell us what you're struggling with. Tell us what your problems are. Hope you found this useful. Enjoy. A happy reselling.